Question number 8, string to integer, atoi. A lot of people seem to not like this question, but let's check it out. We're going to implement a function which converts a string to a 32-bit signed integer. The algorithm, this is long. The algorithm for this function is as follows. Read in and ignore any leading white space. Okay. What was that function that returns? Okay, whatever. Check if the next character, if not already at the end of the string, is negative or positive. Read this character, and if it's either. This determines if it's negative or positive. Okay, we'll store the first character after removing all the white space. How do you remove white space again? Assume the result is positive if neither is present. Oh, okay. Read in the characters until the next non-digit character or the end of the input is reached. The rest of the string is ignored. Convert these. Read in next until the next non-digit or the end of the input. Okay. Convert these digits into an integer. So 123 as a string is 123. If no digits were read, then the integer is 0. Change the sign as necessary. Well, you wouldn't change the sign of 0, right? If the integer is out of the 32-bit signed integer range, -2 to the 31st power to the 31st minus 1, then clamp the integer so that it remains in the range. Okay, that's what? Specifically, integers less than should be clamped to. So can't we just return that? And integers greater to that should be clamped to that, so we could just return that. Return the integer as the final result. This is very specific. Only the sparse characters considered. (42 to 42). Okay, so remove the leading white space, store the first character, and then we read until 42, and then it's in this range. Okay. Oh, this has words in it, so the words. But what if there's a number like right here? Do we still want that? Let's say reading stops because the next character is non-digit. Okay. Oh, this is interesting. So first about white space. How do you remove white space again? Let's see. String that, not split, clean. Oh, it's escaping me. How do you remove white space? It's Python white space. Move white space. Strip. Is that fudge? Okay. We could have replaced it also. Wow, just not thinking. But then again, if we replaced it, we would be missing those characters. So string. I'm taking a lot of time with the question, understanding it, but I think it's important. We need to understand the input first. So reading stops because of that. So yeah. So well, it was strip, right? Okay, now my only question is, does strip return a value? I don't think it does. I think it does it in place. S equals Albert. Sure. S dot split S. Yeah, so if we do S dot split Wait, sorry, that's confusing. If we, this is, oh, okay. It's not? I thought it was. Oh my gosh. S, sure. S equals S dot strip S. What the fudge? Strip. Yeah. B equals S dot strip B. Okay, I need a story. Clearly, I don't even know how the strip function works, so let's do S, new string, equals S dot strip, because we're removing all the white characters. So why don't we write down our plan of attack? So move all white characters, or spaces, right? And then we're gonna store the negative or positive in the first character if it exists. And then let's set upper lower bounds from the negative, 2 to the negative, that power thing. And then we're gonna loop through string while character car is a digit until length of S. Okay. And then how are we going to convert each digit into a number? That's interesting. So we're going to use the ORD function, which takes in the character, but we need to also subtract it with ORD 0, I believe. And the reasoning is pretty interesting because I think that's right. Let me double check though. Python ORD integer. Let's try that. Or just ORD function. So ORD gets the Unicode, right? It basically gets the code break or code point for a specific character. So if we do that, it's going to give us the value of that Unicode, right? But let's say, so yeah, it returns the Unicode character. But how do we convert a number or convert int, convert the string to int? I'm not even solving this. So yeah, you could typecast it using int, but there's a better way to do, there's another way is my point. And there was a good explanation. It was like order 1 is going to be 48. What am I saying? Okay, Python, I don't know my shit. Python ORD to int. I don't want to use typecast. I guess to prove my point, let's say I had really edit this out clear. Okay, I'm gonna say S is a number called one. Okay, B or R equals ORD of S. R is 49, right? 1 equals 49. But how do we change 1 to 1? And I think it's ORD. So yeah, interestingly, ORD 49 or 48 would be 0. What? No. ord. Yeah, so if you do, I see. So if you do ord of string 0, you're going to get 48, right? Because ord of 1 is 49, just as ord of 2 equals 50. So if we do ord of 2 minus ord of 0, string 0, it's 50 minus 48. So we get that number too. Funny how that works out. So we're going to do ord of that character minus the ord of 0 and store that in a string. Store to result string. Make sure to move make negative if necessary. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that. Check the upper lower bounds. Okay, let's try this. So if s first character equals minus or minus, then let's do sign equals none. Okay, sign equals minus elif s of 1 equals a plus. Would it have a plus? It wouldn't have a plus, right? Else sign equals, it wouldn't have a plus. Sign would just be none. Okay. So there, let's go to the range actually. If I in range of from 1 to the length of s, by the way, we're saying the upper and lower bounds. So we can say upper equals 2 to the power of negative, what is it? 30, no. Negative 2 to the power, well, it's negative 2 to the power of 31, I believe. And that's lower actually. Upper is going to be 2 to the power of 31 minus 1. Okay. So we're going through loop through s, right? And we're going to have a result string for I in s store to result string. So I'm going to say if s of I is digit is, how do we know if it's a digit? Well, I think it's smart enough to know. Yeah, that's the whole point of is digit. It's true. A dot is digit would be false, right? So if this is true, then we want to get that, right? So ord function of s of I minus ord 0. We're gonna add that to the result. Would that work? Because it's a number. How do we can't append it if it's a number. Can we add a number to a number? No. We would use base 10, right? So, okay. Let's do result equals 0. let's say result equals, I'm trying to do this. I need to multiply the result by base 10 each time. So someone's playing music. If it's a digit, then we're gonna get the difference. So result is now a number, right? But we wanna have some good music. I'm not sure how to increase the base. Let's think about it. We check if the number is a digit or that string place. If it is, then we are going to get the number, multiply it by 10. Okay. Let me see why I do that. So we're gonna multiply by 10. Is that right? But we'll get 40 if it's a what if res was 10 multiplied it by confusing. Times 10. What happens when we do that? Let's say it was 4, right? Because it's gonna be a digit anyway. Yeah. So let's say it's 4. Then if we multiply it by 10, it's gonna be 40. We don't want that. We want 4. So in order to do that, well, this will become 40, but how do we make it? And then when it's 40, that next digit, oh, this is tough. Shit. This is some math here, but we got to add it. Result plus add, the ones place, the tens place, and the hundreds place. So if it's 4, we want it at the ones place. How do we get at the ones place? We multiply it with 10 times, let's say counter is 0. Counter is 1. Because if counter is 0, then everything's 0. Right? And then we want to multiply it by 10. And then multiply result by 10. So we can add that. 4. Yeah, this is going to be a long ass video. It's okay. Think about it. So you have 4. You want to store 4 at res. So usually you would just do that and then you have it. But you don't want to add to that number. You want to then update the place. So result 0 plus 4 equals 4. Then it's got to be 0 plus times the tens place. So when do we introduce the tens place? That's where I'm a little confused by. Here. Let's say if res is less than 10, then we'll do that. So it'll be 0 plus whatever digit is stored in there. Else it'll be res plus equals this times 10. So if the next one is 5, that would be 50. So it would be 50 plus 4, right? So we have 54. Then the next number might be 6. So it will be 6 times 60. Oh, that doesn't work either. So the number needs to increase. 10. How do you do that? Oh my gosh, that's pretty confusing. How do you increment? How do you increment by base 10? Maybe the length of it times the length of this, right? So let's say it's 4. Then the length of res is currently 1, so it's 1 times 4. So 0 plus 4 equals 4. Cool. Let's say the next digit is 4 again. Okay. The length of res is still 1. What if we had an incremented increase? Let's say counter equals 1 times counter with 1. Okay. Counter plus equals counter equals counter times equals counter equals counter times 10. So what happens here? Counter is set to 1, so we'll have 4. Let's say it's 4. The 4 times 1 is 4, so 0 plus 4 is 4. Okay, let's say the next number is 4 again. Then the counter is incremented by 1 times 10. The counter is 1 times 10. So let's say 4 times 10 is 40. So 40 so I mean that's 10 now. Count is 10. So what's 10 times 4? That's 40. What's 40 plus 4? 44. Okay. Let's see, the next number was 4 again. Then counter is now 100, right? What's 4 times 100? That's 400. What's 400 plus 44? 444. Okay, so the number would increment by a counter. That's going to increment it, initially set to 1. Okay, cool. Else, if the character is not a digit, then we're just going to break from there. If sign was none, if sign was not, sign was, okay, if sign equaled none, that means it was positive, then we'll say that. We'll also check if res greater than upper, return upper, else return res. Else, if the sign was negative, right, it was not none, then we're going to check if it was lower. If res was lower than lower, then we're going to return lower, else we'll return res. But we're going to return negative res. Yeah. So I think I hit all my logic here. Let's just go from the top. We're going to strip all the white spaces, then we're going to initialize to none, and we're going to store if it's a dash, then we're going to store dash there. So if it's positive, it's none. We're going to set the upper bounds and the negative bounds. We're going to set the result to 0. Then we're going to have a counter set to 1 and iterate from index 1 to the end. We're going to then check if each character is a digit. If it is, then we're going to increment the res by base 10, initially set to 1, and we're going to use the ORD function to get the Unicode for that character and subtract it by 0. Again, string 0 is 48. String 2 is 50. So if we subtract that, then we get the difference. So that works. And counter incrementing each time helps us increment the number. Else, if it's not a digit, we're just going to break from there. If it was a space, for example, or alphabet. Then we're going to check the sign again. If it's positive, then we're going to return res. If it's not above the upper, if it's above the upper, we'll just return upper. Else, we are going to check if res is lower than lower bound. If it is, return the lower bound. Else, we're going to return negative res. Fuck. Okay. Output is 2, expected 42. Let's check here. So, sign is none, doesn't equal, set the lower, upper, cool. Counter equals 1. For I in range, oh shit, okay. I see. I see, it has to do with the range. Start equals 0, okay? The start. But if the sign is negative, start equals 1. Okay. It's going backwards now. What the heck? Let's check this. So we do start from 0, which is 4. 4 is a digit, so we subtract string 4 to string 0, multiply it by 1, we get 4. Then we go into, okay, I'm going the opposite side. Result equals plus res. How does that work? So if it was first character 4 times 1 plus 0, 4, 10, right? Result equals 2 times 20. 10. 2 times 10 is 20. 24. What the a completely different order. That's awkward. We have, again, we get counter is 1, we get 4. 4 should be in the tens place, but we're counting it as a first place. So that doesn't work. How do we count 4 in the tens place off the bat? Well, can't we... That's annoying. Times counter. Times 1. 1. Oh, I need to check something. I wonder, what if we just didn't have a counter and we just had 10? Right, so the first one would be 40. 4 times 40. Well, that matches. Then we go to 2. 40 plus 2 times 10 is 20. That wouldn't work. 20 is some weird ass number. But what if we increment it? What if we had power there? In a way. Does that make sense? 4 times 10. Plus pi. Results equals times. I'm close, but I'm not sure how to resolve this part. Result for I in ordinate. For each number, we're turning results. I just said 0 result times 10 plus that number. That shouldn't be 0. So 4 is not. 4 is a digit. So 0 times 10 plus 4. Okay. Then we go to 2. 2 times 10 equals 20 plus 2, 22. So it'll be that's all right. Four times 10. 0 times 10 plus 4, 4. And then it would be 4 times, oh, then it will be 4 times 10 plus 2. So yeah, in the beginning it will be 4, right? So, I mean 0. So it will be 0 times 10 is 0 plus 4. Cool. And then we go to 2, it will be 4 times 10, right? 40 plus 2. I get how we get 28 though. We do get 42. What the fuck? Sine equals none, which it is. A result greater than upper, which shouldn't be. Met here. We never go there. Regrets. What happens here? We get 42. Okay. Else. Are we going into the none? We're going to the if. What the heck? The sign equals none. It is, because it's positive. The result is print check. So we go here, we return. Well, how is results greater than upper? Upper is what? I think I need, let me try again. Oh, I need the star. Oh, that's a binary operation. So yeah, I need to do star. A lot of ifs here. Let me return all that for now. I hope I don't need them again. Run it again, clean. 0 there. Output is 0. Expected negative 42. I wonder what happened there. Let's do. Didn't need all those. Submit. Yeah, 0. I wonder why. Print S. Let's see what we get. Oops. We get negative 42. So we still have what the strip never worked. So that's not nice. Let's say string equals 42. US equals SS, right? Because we're not iterating to new S. That's why. I guess I could have done that, but since I did that, let's just roll with that. Should be negative res, lower than lower, return lower. String index, is that a range? X. Oh, you're kidding me. Length of S, we didn't get that. Length of S could be 0. Equals 0, then return. What do you want there? Return none. Return 0 because it's expecting an int. Oh, so many. Wow, it is taking a plus. Never mind. Else sign equals else if. Okay, I see. If new S0 equals a plus, sign equals a plus, and sign equals 1 also. We're gonna have to say or sign equals plus. Son of a. If new. Oh my gosh. I'm just like patching holes now. Okay, that was hard. That was really hard because, I mean, I think a big part of me, so there were 3 things that I really didn't know how to do. First was setting the base, right? Incrementing the base. Not realizing that I can multiply the base 10 each time, because then we're going to increment it by there. I guess. Because what if it was one number, right? What if it was 3? Then it would have been 3 times 10, 30. Plus, actually no, result is 0, right? So if it was one number, it would just be 1 digit. I see. Yeah, and just that the power sign, star star, and also just the test cases, S could have been length 0 from the start. And interestingly, after all the white spaces, we could have had a length 0 too. So that's that. Thanks. Long one.